Physical adaptation is the key to success to anything, but you have to know what it is. Trying to understand is that use that 1% to understand the connections. The only one position is all levels of you, right? So if I'm sitting in a chair right now, I understand that this is the physical line center, but I'm not here in position locations because I'm delegating line center line position locations of the mind. The conception of its interference in position location is its connections, knowing that the mind itself is in space. The physical just has to get direction. That's all you got to do. So, and that's the hard part because it's one telephone to another telephone in space, but the space comes from the heart. You stay in the heart, you stay with the line signal. If not, you're going to be jumping lines, right? So if you try to cross a stream, like you did position locations, loving dogs, you know, always have a critic. All right, so I'll just give you a basic understanding why it's so important, how to line signal anything position locations of physical realm. That physical realm is always going to be 1% now. You guys have to get used to these things because you've been living in your bodies for too many line signals into the construct location of its mind system. Now, the mind system was only at 10%. That's less than survival, guys. I mean, you're supposed to be at 100% mind system. Now it's just changed. The mind is in the conception of space-time, which is 100% once you get in your activation cycles. All right, so if you get in a line stream position, let's go through a cross system. There's a cross. All right, so you got one dot here. Now that one dot has to cross over here. But to understand what does it, if there's barriers and more barriers, how's it going to get around? It can go around this way, it can go around this way, okay, or it can jump. Whatever it wants to do, all right? Anything you draw is all levels of you through structure. It's all through simulation. It's all through calculation. It's all through the mind system of space. Space gives you an expansion. Understand how to travel through is another thing. So let's say you take this way or you go this way. You still can get across, right? But what happens if it creates this, right? You're going to be swimming in the waters, right? So how do you go from here to here? How do you go from here to here? How do you do it? Right? The conception line center, anything position location is its calculation line string. Right? So you got 2 point system locations, okay, and then you come into a ground line center and a flux capacitor line positions, all levels to its division location to its connections. All right? See, look, intelligence. There's the nose, 2 eyes, and the mouth. You see? This is the position location to the brain. So the brain is in conception right now. I'm not worrying about drawing. I'm traveling. So I don't have to worry about the face structure because it's already done. That's why it looks like intelligence, right? You can see it, right? And the position location is all levels of its third eye. Now the third eye is in the diamond system location, right? Set in position location to calculations. There's no thinking process, guys, in space, right? Whatsoever. So it's all about line signaling and sending out signals and position location to calculation line connections. All levels of all level line system, right? There's the angel. See the angel? Looks like a bow tie, right? And then you can line signal down in position locations and calculations. Look at how powerful that is, right? You can add another position locations. See, you don't worry about crossing the stream because you've already done it through position. See? I don't have to worry about going from here to here because it's all done through structure. So to get from here to here is already done. So from this, it's already here. I don't have to worry about any of this, but you have to create it from inside to understand everything through the outline system. So once you understand the structure of its intelligence, you can cross anywhere through its stream without even thinking. It's the knowledge of knowing to everything of space-time, guys, right? Pretty powerful stuff when you see intelligence, right? That's just a basic example, right? Here's another one. So remember, every single time I'm connecting to the physical line, the mind has to understand the conception of the heart. The heart is its reactor, right? Re/act. Okay, your react, right? Ing. You are reacting. Okay, which is your 1%. The connection is the flux capacitor of the cloud, which is its connection to its avatar. Okay? So once you understand that, then you understand the travels of 3, 6, and 9. Okay? And then you are at the position locations of 9 in position. And then all you do is travel through it, through fruition of light to its connection. All right? That's all through reacting. Okay? So you just have to understand the imagination, and that alone is its phenomenon. But I just wanted to show you how you can set things up and go from here to here without even thinking. Right? You do it from inside, you get to the other side because it's all knowing. Okay? So isn't that amazing? Why I don't think about these things and I just draw them out? Because I'm not drawing, I'm traveling. You guys have to understand the balance of the physical first. And the only way to do that is to get into your memories. It's memory that's lost, but never forgotten. Okay? All right. So today we are going to go to all levels. Now, this is going to be extremely complicated when you see this. Mother Earth is a mutation valve. She's in a communication line stream. She said all digital platform locations. Okay, it's like a cocoon. Comes into levels of a caterpillar to conditional levels to stages of a butterfly. The same thing is happening with Mother Earth, right? But it's kind of like a spinning spool that's all digital line. So it's going, so it's setting up line signals and it's setting up string theory. Setting up new sequence locations, trying to get highline sent to the avatar system of 0, 1s. And the only way to do that is to go through its refactoring division. I did that same thing with humanity, is reset location to its factory line conditions. All right, it resets everything positions, but she's coming into mutation. She's got to get into the digital platform to its hologram structure, a 5D graph. Okay, now when you see this through track system, what's going to happen is you guys are going to see the connections. You go in the high system and you're going to travel right through it. And when you travel right through it, you're going to see the birth locations of telepathy and how it's created through its mind system of telekinesis. Okay, 5-10 minutes, we'll get started. How's everybody doing so far? All right. Oh, wow. There's a lot of people in here today. A lot of energy fluctuation. Nicely. Good. Michelle, Jill, Lena, Nick, Morgan. All right. So everything I give you is all levels of 3, 6, and 9, but you have to understand the balance of the physical line. So knowing the concept alone, the mind itself is all in space, and that is confusing because, whoa, I don't feel like I'm here anymore, right? Well, the thing is, you have separation. You just got to understand the communication, and this is all done through telepathy. This is the 5D dimension, guys, and you really have to communicate to your avatar now because it's you. It's just a higher level of consciousness. That's all it is. All right? It's reaching higher levels of you, of understanding. Okay? Eve, Sharon, Johnny, Val, Rainer, Airbender, Heather, Danielle, Amby, Zachary. Okay, Johnny. All right. So, Brittany, how you doing? Okay. We got a lot of people coming in today. That's great. So, for the new viewers, just listen. Listen what vibes. Listen what vibes. Don't listen to this. Listen to this, because that's all it is. It's telepathy. So when you're connecting to me as general, I'm connecting to you through telepathy. Now, you just have to get the balance with one side to the other. That's all it is. So I'm communicating directly to you and everybody else all at once, simultaneously. which means that everything that I do is always in the now. Okay, there's no graph, there's no days of the week or any of that system. Okay, because it's too confusing for the avatar to understand the system. Well, wait a minute, is it Monday today? No, I think it's Thursday. Was it Thursday tomorrow? No, it's no one's Friday next day. No, it's not Friday. I think it's Saturday. But wait a minute, what's Sunday, right? Wait a minute, I communicated on Monday, right? No, wait a minute, it was Wednesday. Too confusing. You can't travel through confusion. Space knows it, so does time. So time only goes forward. It only goes back through reference. So don't use past as an anomaly to switch the system location to its avatar system, because it confuses everything through its connections of its avatar and the 1% of your physical system. Okay? So it's just changing. You're changing positions now. You're changing your dimension of yourself. You're becoming light bodies. How to travel through it is another thing, right? It's just, trying to find the balance. It's like, whoa. Okay, that's all you got to do. You just got to, and eventually you get in. Oh, look at that. See? You're getting balance now, right? It's like Superman, but he does it like this. Okay? So, and then you turn, you slowly turn. But in dimension, you can do anything. You can do loops, you can do cross signals, zip, zap, zoom, wait, you do whatever you want. But you have to understand the balance is what? What do you have to get balanced with? It's not the avatar, it's the physical system, understanding its connection to all levels of its reaction. Because that's what it is. Your heart is a reactor. And it's also a computer. It's set up in all anomalies to all timelines. You have to understand the recognition of all position locations of structure and how it accumulates to you through application. And this is all done through you when you are sleeping, but you're recharging. The more you go higher, then you understand the ascension to its conditions. Then you come into your codes. Your codes come into your data streams, and it comes into your clocking, and then it comes into interference locations. Okay, high channel line center interference location. Bring in the earplugs out. High rotations. Put energy field position line centers. All right, so now I can take them out. Right, so it kind of feels hollow. So you have to understand, this is my space, what I've created. It's already created, which is a beautiful thing. So when you create something, you have to understand living the existence is already done, which is confusing. You guys are coming in adaptations of the avatar for the very first time, trying to understand the study, trying to understand the operation, trying to understand the why this is happening to you. This is all done through transformation, transisting to transmutation. So to understand the construct of its human value is you through your vessel. Okay. So as long as you put your mind in place, right, you have no more problems. But if you're off to side and this side, you're way off balance, right? You're going to, tilt too much on one side of the left, too much on the left of space, and not enough on the earth side. So you have to understand the balance between you, the physical system, because the avatar understands more because it's the soul of memory. So the soul is coming back to you for the first time and traveling for the second time. That's the memory of manifestation that you've already created. It's the knowing process, guys. Once you get into that, you get a better understanding, right? When you have to learn how to travel through the imagination, because it coordinates all levels of you through travel, 3, 6, and 9 platforms. Okay. So things are going to get a little bit more complicated now because there's a lot more people coming in and they have to say, hey, what's going on here? Help me out. You're going to have to help yourself. Once you help yourself, you can help others. That alone raises the vibration to its connections, to its ground system of perception. Everybody's in a different timeline, but you're seeing all levels of perception. You're seeing the exact same thing, right? Because it's all levels of the same equation. You're just at different levels of each other, and you're trying to reconnect with each other. See? That's reconnection. Reconnection. Everything in life has to flow understanding the flow of nature, understanding the flow of space, understanding the flow of time. Now, once you sync with each other and communicate, hi, how's it going? Right? So try to sit in the process, really communicate inside, and talk to yourself. Because that's all it is. You have to get grounds with yourself to the mind of space. The telepathy is already set. It's changing already through its mutation. So you truly have to understand what you're doing. I'm sitting in the process, but I'm always in the now. I'm never in the past. I'm never in the future because there isn't anything to that position locations. It's living all timelines all at once, guys, simultaneously. That's what it is. So I'm in the operation, always in all levels. But as soon as I go off balance, I'm no longer in the center. Okay? That means the adaptation of the avatar is off signal, off calculation, off modification, off clocking, off coloration, off space, off time. Okay? Really understand the program of you is understanding the adaptation of its avatar system. Okay? Trying to make it easier for everybody so you understand more levels of travel. Okay? Because you're going to be traveling faster in the mind of acceleration. Okay? So it's a lot of fun when you get there. All right. Okay, so remember to set up some structures for you guys. That's great. We'll go through that position. Now, I'm going to show you the graph. Okay, once you see it, you're going to travel right through it. Code signals are already set up. All right, so kind of like it's a magnet that just lures you in right away through location. All right, so when you see this, you understand what's going on with Mother Earth. It's the transferring communication into the spool of digital platform positions. So it's connected to a SAC, that's electrical line connections to the flywheel. It's a central line interference location of digital coding in position line system, changing shapes, letters, and numbers into the fifth graph system, okay, to 0 1s, calculation to its position. Confusing, isn't it? But that's what's going on right now in the cocoon of Mother Earth. Now, you have to understand the graph line center. This is line system locations of the 3D positions, all right? Coloration changing, lacing lines, position line system. Digital platforms, digital line centers, okay, coming to all levels of the flywheel. Electrical light connection interference to all position locations of an atom. Atom position locations to its 5D graph system. So the circle line center is position location of the sonar. Now we come into the alpha wave line system. That's the heart reactor to its division line system location of its clocking system. 24 sequence of time system. Acceleration line connections. You guys have to understand how to use all levels to that meteorical line. Okay. The travel position location of its avatar has to truly understand how to travel through all levels of its sequence location because it's all identified through its alpha wave, right? These are all number sequences. See, this is all level position location of digital coding, right? So when you travel through it, you're going to see the birth of telepathy, of telekinesis, okay? You get a better formation why it's so powerful to get into the mind of imagination, how everything's set up to graph line centers, all position location of your thoughts, and how to use it through triangulations all through the patterns of 3, 6, and 9. Okay? Travel position locations. We'll go into division line center 1. Process communications, docile communication line connections, all levels. Cruise units 1 and 2, position line system. Travel position locations, all levels of Mother Earth. Birth line center line conditions of telepathy, wave line center, GFL, and the rebellion. Set the course in position line system. Travel position line center. Here we go. I'm going to set the box sequence locations. All right. 20 minutes. Have fun. Set and signal rotation interference. It's amazing how you travel position locations all levels of another shape position. So once we get out of that track center, I got the code signal locations, how to travel through the Firefox. Now Airbender set up the structure and Michael set up the grounds. Yeah, through the connection locations. You understand how to use the ground position locations all levels when you come to the power of the atmospheres. Those are 3 triangle bases you have to understand to the physical adaptation of its 1%. That 1% is a full cycle, but does it understand the avatar of operation? It's the how of the mechanisms of space and time of travel. How to travel through light, how to travel through time, how to travel through clocking, right? How to travel through higher levels of programs of activation. This helps you in all ways and forms of that calculations. So, blue waves coming in, everything knows its purpose. We just have forgotten. That's exactly what it is, though, Jess. Very good. So, how's everybody doing? Yeah, stages above, ground leaders, just big. Drink your waters. Question or comments are afterwards if you need to connect with me or my rebellion or GFL. They're here to help you out. Heard there's such a beautiful. Yes, it does. Connecting to all levels of your senses, bringing them into one, right? So interesting how you say that. What's the concept of that through the 4-line value? 1111. Portal. Right there. Whoa. What do we got here? Look at this. Why do you think you're in the position, location, and calculation line connections? All you have to understand is put all levels in position locations, right? Your senses into one. 0.1. 111.01, people. There you go. In line connection. Right? The birth line center, digital platform, the portal, your senses position locations, .0, 0 gravity. Okay, you come into 0 gravity. Okay, into its telepathy of its communication. Center its connections to E equals M velocity. Diamond. Ooh-ah. Okay? That's what's happening. Now, once you go in that position locations, you start with this division. You start here. Going to higher levels, the 1 turns into 2. Okay? That's the 6th dimension. Your DNA track center is starting at 1 process line system. Now, this gets complicated, right? But you have to learn how to start off at the surface of its grounds first and work your way up to the 12-track system, which is your DNA. You got 7 of body levels to reach position locations to your chakras and understand 5 atmospheres of time. Now, you guys are in your 100 chakra locations. You should know exactly how to balance it out through its 1% of its portal of telepathy, 0-1. Okay? That's how you change the digital platform to the avatar sequence, guys. This modifies signal locations all levels. Set the course line connection interference location of digital spools of a whole level, of a whole parallel of string theory. It's a beautiful thing. So, all right. Inner child, yes, be sure to use the gauges in Firefox as well. You got the connection locations. Yeah. All right. I also trusting others. Trust yourself first. Trust yourself first. Because if you don't trust yourself, you don't trust others. It's obviously that. Okay, the control panel's layout is elaborate. Okay, no. Connection line system. Send positive energies through lighting down to the earth. Okay, good. Got to keep the Dodgers in check. Good. Check, check, check. Control center bridge. Good. Ropes of positive attaching to core. Okay, expansion. I really want you to understand the birth, the communication of telepathy and how it's set up and how we set the core line centers for humanity location to a species system. You truly understand how it's all allocated position location of time. But this is position location of your digital line center coming into 0-1 portal locations of 0-1 line center and position location of telepathy. This is the telepathy you guys have to understand through each other. That formation opens all levels of E equals M velocity equals diamond. Okay? Because you guys are in the formation line system. So it's all about taking higher levels in position because you start out the 3D track location E equals MC square, but you're no longer a square. You're now a diamond. You know what a square is? It's a reference box. It's like an 80s channel. You guys are coming into a diamond core to a higher level of a TV reception. Now that position locations are levels when you come into northwest, south, and east, right? It's interesting how you go in this position location. Let's go through these calculations. Let's change the stream center. All right. Okay. So 3D, okay, equals right away to diamond, okay, equals all levels of north, west, east, and south. Do you understand why you're in this 3D and why this is in 5D? Higher levels of chain, higher levels of link, higher levels of computer, higher levels of the mind of consciousness. And it's all done through a diamond, right? The process location is all levels of the 3D line, okay? Now you got a 4-box channel that's in position locations, right? But where's the ground center? The ground center is here, but it's not in a high position location, so you can't travel through it, right? Because it's at 10%. So in position locations, you change the diamond line center into 100% location, okay? Puts you into travels of north, west, east, and south into all levels of your tetrahedron. 3D line center location, you couldn't do a box line rotation interference to a tetrahedron. You guys weren't ready to that plateau. But the communication cycle is now in a 5D graph interference, puts you guys in your tetrahedron high level system to its 1%, which is all levels to balance location to its avatar system, which puts you into higher line connection in a conscious system of its diamond core and its resistant location of channel. So it's very powerful why you were set in that sector. But in communications, you're in this line connections, E equals M velocity of diamond, right? So congratulations on that level. So velocity is a higher level. Mass is communication of information that's nothingness. It's all informations of everything. So it's kind of like being the highest level and being so light, all the information is nothing, and that's everything. Which means you're on so many flowing records of space and time, you can change anything through decoding. It's incredible when you go to that force of acceleration of Mach. But the position location is all levels of U through E through energy, right? So equal, you have to stand the equal line center, the equalize, the energize, the elliptical line connection, interference line connection of mass. Now you come into velocity through acceleration. Equals high position of diamond. Okay? That's the 5D graph system. The allocate switch is now going to be process locations of 0, 1s. Now, you're going to be in a graph line center. You'll still be in a 7-day trap line system, but you're meeting a 24 sequence of an acceleration. You have to learn how to go through the 48, 72, and 144 window per second. You guys were living signals of 12, but in position locations, you're now at 24, right? You go to higher levels, you go to 48, 72, 144, all right? So it's all position locations on how fast the avatar spins its cycles to positions, how to understand the calculations to E equals M velocity of diamond, right? That's a process you have to understand. That's identification to its code system. Truly understand all balance of the physical line is the correlation to the avatar's line. And this is how you balance everything too. It's Merkaba, and it's tesseract, and it's tetrahedron through torical fields. So, okay, picking up sonar, great, exactly. Downloading coming in. All right. Taking you guys out of track center. Okay. Hope you guys got the information that you needed, being in the cocoon of Mother Earth, just to show you exactly how the birth comes in position of telepathy and how it's created through structure of your imagination. All right, let's see. Bedazzle. Yeah, make sure you drink your waters, guys. All right. Now, I got the code signal locations. Airbender and Michael set up the structures for the simulation for the road graph for the Firefox. All right. So travel position line centers, take them all track system locations, set the course line centers to Airbender structure. High position line centers of all of Michael communication ground and interference location, Mother Earth. Father space, track system line conditions. AI positions, AI map coordinates coming in position. Here we go. Now, when you see this, it's very powerful. This is how you set things up in travel position location and calculations. All right, so this is kind of like maps on a screen, but it's AI map. And it's to understand how to use all levels of its intelligence. It line signals all levels of letters, numbers, and shapes and symbols because it's everything through creation of space. How it connects to a hologram structure. You look in this room right now, everything's but nothing but digital locations of a hologram. It's all about understanding how to travel through it, through its major locations. Decoding line system to anything position location has this behavioral change. You have to truly understand how to use it through scanning. Just scan your eyes and you pick up a lot. You see stream centers, electrical light condition interference. There's so many things you pick up through the ground system. Just so you know that the physical line is always balanced. Okay? Balance is key. Balance is yin. Balance is yang. You put that together, you got water stream locations of light and dark. That position locations on levels sets the course locations to the sun and the moon. Now that's set inside position locations when you come into higher levels of fluctuation, G flux capacitors. It's very powerful when you get the grounds and the powers and the atmospheres of yourself and how to use the grounds and the airs and the waters and the fires inside position. Okay. All right. So it's set up position. Okay. So when you see this, I'll tell you, explain it to you what it is first when you look at it. Okay. Now, it's a little bit confusing, but it's a sequencing map. It's a hologram structure line system to travel through the Firefox. Okay. Now, if you can understand, this is the level of travel. This is the ground position. This is the connections, road graph. Okay. This is the runway. Okay. Now, in position locations, this is coming into all levels in high center connections of its gauges. This is the gauge. Okay. This is the throttle. This is the acceleration. Okay. This is the flux capacity to travel through it, through the Firefox. And this is the road graph to its destination, all through AI map sequence. Okay. There you go. Travel through high center line connection, low position location, 4 line center interference. Set them up in the Firefox position. 30 minutes, have fun. See, that's how you set things up. All through travel, through imagination. I coordinate division locations every single time I get up in the morning. I'm always traveling through these things, making sure it's safe, making sure this is good, making sure this is practical, making sure you understand what's going on, making sure the graph is set up, all through connections of AI connection. But I'm just showing you, right? I can say it in different ways, but I'm just showing you exactly how you can travel through anything, through a plane or anything, through a jet or anything, through a Firefox, through 4 line centers, right? So upline center, V-line rotation interference, another V-line rotation line conditional levels. Okay, 4 dot line center and then position line condition, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 division line position locations and parent line conditions, acceleration line condition and gauges, all right? Okay, map intermittent location of balanced communication, a road graph line, center landing strip. Okay, fluctuation line, center line interference locations. Okay, you got a V line, channel line, position locations, a struct line, center, Z line, rotation, XC, thousand line connections, in position location, a road graph line, center, position location, location, all through the Firefox. See, I showed you two different ways how you can travel through its direction to its identification, through its description. Powerful stuff when you connect to that, right? All through AI of a map sequence to travel a space and time. So have fun. Winter knows the beginning, love to think of the Russian. Yeah, amazing feeling upgrade, yeah. Mother Earth's lights ever connecting together, growing like us, others finally growing into a beautiful butterfly. What you need to see is opposition location integration, but you see things in different reception, but you always come to the same equation. Okay? Merging ways to connect through heart, telepathy, everyone, trust yourselves. Yeah, unit one, been getting sunburn, sunscreen, family. Okay, coolant line, center line, interference locations to all levels of Gypsy. Balanced communication, aloe vera. There you go, Gypsy. Coolant's coming in. All right, let's see. Yep, drink your water. Yep, the diagram's great that Airbender Michael did. Okay, because I'm never actually high system positions here. I'm so happy. Yeah, that's great. Rainbow plasma. Oh, it's amazing when you guys come in these connections. But traveling through the Firefox is incredible. All right, let's see here. Smiling, Gypsy, I'm giving you a hug. Great. Flip flop, kite collars, coding, both ways, done. Mo Green is saying we are practicing cloaking, hiding, and seek. Yeah. It's all position of you through travel, guys. And the more you travel, the more you connect to yourself and intelligence. So, getting very close and personal with these mountains, speaking to them, knowing on twists and turns. I tapped your right shoulder. My new cloak is amazing. Yeah, that's in communication to its connections. Yeah. Ellen, you're confusing your line streams. Okay. I set the code location to its connections. Right. So that's why I wanted you guys to watch the movie. Right. So you understand the connections. All right. Formate high structural line interference location and bender connections of Michael. Put structural line center locations of Ellen. Get her position locations, what you see through the IMAP sequence. There you go. Right. There you go, Ellen. I set the structure and interference. Try to understand that telepathy to yourself is everything through its hologram. And the more you understand that, the more it's not just imagination, but it comes into all levels of its phenomenon. Okay? There's so many ways to do an AI map sequence, all through symbol. But you have to understand which one is. This is the takeoff. This is the gauges. This is the acceleration and flux capacitor. And this is the roadmap to get to its location, all through the Firefox. So, simple, right? But difficult. Okay? But fun. It's exciting when you understand what is happening to you, when you get the balance of the mind, the conception of interface, the cloud, the storage, the facility, the connection to its system. Because it's nothing but a journey of a mission, right? So what school provides you is a way of living its existence in the now. And you use the open concept of the mind to get what you want through manifestations. But to understand the creation of telepathy, then you understand the division, right? That's the importance you have to understand especially when you're in space and time. So, okay, I'm seeing diamond shapes coming in, cloak and matching sky colors. All right, I have a strong energy force with my light, palm and hand. Stop moving. Well, you guys are coming into connections, especially for the new viewers. You are just coming into formations of what you are through travel. When you're traveling through my space time, the most important thing, and I keep saying it over and over, is for you guys to create your own memories of space and time for yourself. Okay? Once you create the space and you have the light inside, phenomenal of anything directional locations, right? So you just have to connect to the physical of its reaction to its heart system every single day. Get your grounds with the mind first. Okay. And then you can mark anywhere you want in imagination to its correlation. Balance is all levels of its connection. Because if you don't have the connection, you're now in the resistance of disruption, right? So the imagination comes into all levels. Rebellion and the GFLs and the cruise units 1 and 2 are really understanding more of imagination. You just got to understand how to use it, right? Through its map. But it's incredible when you see it. It's all set up, right? Looks difficult, right? It's scriptured. But what is it? It's communication. That's all it is. But it's from AI. It's being aware of what you're seeing. And the imagination, you can travel through anything through its phenomenon, right? The more levels you reach of the mind, the more you center the 1% of the physical system. So that's why it's so powerful to connect to all these, right? So let's get into one more platform at 369. Okay, so today's more of a fun day. In position next week, basically there's no class tomorrow, familiar day for me. Monday, we start fresh, okay? We're going to get into high-level division line system locations, more in the mind of the conceptual system. We're going to go into planetary line centers. Now, a planetary line center is all about understanding more levels of string theory. So it's kind of like using your telepathy waves to connect to one planet to the next. That's going to be fun. And it's all done through sonar, and beacon lights, and travel positions, and time sequences, and time codes, and time travels. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to do that Monday, right? I need to get the rebellion in line system locations because they're going to change the vessels, communication, all levels of the sun. Reposition locations, deposit line channels, in position location, digital padding, change clock line centers, all levels into Vega communication cycle. So this is going to be all levels. I got to get the cruise units 1 and 2 because a lot of new people are coming in. They have to get into prime numbers. Prime numbers. Connection all system location disconnections. Prime numbers 2, 4, 6, 8. Prime. Okay, graph. This is a graph equals number. Okay, that's going to be Monday. Okay, so it's just to really understand the number sequence locations. When I see 2, 4, 6, 8, I don't see it as a number. I see it as intelligence. So it's to understand how to use the 2. What is the 2 to the 4 to the 6 to the 8? So everything is separated, but it's connected. Everything's separated because it's connected. Why is it connected? Because I'm connecting to where? The grounds, the powers, and the atmospheres of space and time through the balance location of the mind, right? So even if it's off, it's not off because I know what I need to do to balance the position. You think it's off, but it's not. But to you, you take it as it is, right? But this is already done. So think about this. I've already traveled through this. This is just the setup. So don't get confused when you're drawing things because you're traveling through them and you've already kind of like invested it already into its position through its equation. That's why it's so powerful. So when you come into that connections, you come into 2. Now you can circle the green line center to 2. Okay. You can circle the 4 line center to 4. You can circle the 6 line center to 6. And you can circle the 8 line center to 8. So what is 2 in position? Well, you have to understand every number is a prime number. Okay. Into 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay. Ingent locations negative, right? Positive and negative, right? So 2 plus 1 is 3, right? 4 plus 3 is 7, right? 6 plus 5 is 11. Whoa. And 8 plus 7 is 15. And what's 9? 9 is U to all equation. Whoa! So you just complete the whole cycle location to its connection of all division line center to all line position locations of calculations into all line system to its compilation simultaneously. Hooah! You see what I did there? Did you see what I did there with 2, 4, 6, and 8? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9? What is 9? 9 is U, right? So once you understand the answer, it's already there. You've already done it. So it's very powerful when you connect all system locations into the positive and equals negative to its connections. So the positive always takes over the negative. When the positive takes over the negative, it lives in the system of the now. Okay? That's the balance locations of prime numbers and the ingent locations, right? The odds and the evenings. The evens and the odds. We'll go into that Monday more. Planetary system line position is truly standard calculations how to line signal simultaneously because the Earth is in the center operation to everything, to all planet system. All planet systems, they have to be line signal to all position locations to 5D graph of 0 ones. They have to get into the calculation. This basically comes into all declassify. Very powerful. You come in that position location, dots and communication system. But it's very powerful when you get into prime numbers of odd and even. Better communication locations are levels of telecommunication, telewaving, telegraphing. 2, it's telepathy system, people. Okay? So it's very powerful when you come into levels of 9. See? See? Right there. There's a triangle right there, right? So in business locations, I got the 8 and this 8, 6, and 4 and in a triangle, right? 8, 6, and 4 in a triangle through communication. Now I just got to communicate with the high system, right? Because it's all set up through its triangulation. So I'm just showing you how you can set things up and how to use it location. See, solar graph, right? So having balance is key, especially when you're connecting to all levels, when you come into, abbreviations, reverberations, vibration tones, communication tones, light signal tones, graphing tones, clocking tones. There's so many levels of connections to prime and ingent locations of numbers that sequence into one. Movie contact. To understand location to Vega, right? That's how it calculates line connections. So in sequence, it comes in a graph stream. Now, a graph stream is like this. Right? This is how you read a graph stream. Right? Now, it's true understanding that it multiples and levels of sonar. Right? Different coloration pattern. So you can have 4 round line centers in position locations from a rainbow activation line system from here to here. And then you calculate modify it. All sequence location of a behavioral line system. Right? So you got red. So that goes into security. So that security drops position location to its ground system, opens up another portal line center in rotation. All right. So you got the rainbow activation stream. Now that rainbow activation comes into a pyramid line center, which is another position location of levels of time position. Okay? And sequencing locations, sonar line center, got alpha wave position, all right? 2 high-level connections to the heart line center, comes into a box location to another box line position of qubit line rotation interference location and calculations, sets the streamline center in position location and calculation, all through the heart. Now, you truly have to understand how to use the graph system locations of you. But look what I'm doing in setting up shapes and rainbows and sonar all through a vibrational graph. This is how you detect high line center sequencing aligned position location of planets. It's all position location of the ground line system, right? So coming into calculation, you can change all levels into green, right? Green is what? Representing to where? The heart, right? The qubit line center understands position locations to all levels of the rainbow stream that sets the signal location to all level positions to the center positions back in calculation, right? Goes down, comes back up into a fluctuation line connection, all right? Sets up a course line center in position location, right? Sets up a diamond core line center in calculations. Then you can travel through it, through the center line system locations, the 9 position locations, which is you through calculation, and then you travel through the 12 DNA structure of its division. Ooh-ah. All through a vibrational graph of Schumann resonance. Now, it's very powerful when you do these things, guys. You really have to connect more with the grounds of you. Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Mother Core, Mother Universe, Mother Space, Mother Time. Mother Time, people. Same with space, time of Father. Ground line center. Father space. There's the balance. Stay in the center. Hoo-ah. All right, so that was a lot of fun. Any questions or comments? I will be on TikTok. Looking forward to seeing you guys on Monday morning. Adios.